Alright, so I'm gonna try to get 2 videos out each week now instead of only doing 1 a week, so it can help the channel grow a lot more and so you guys don't have to wait such a long time before I upload again. But with there being a lot of new champions in the UFC, we gotta go through a few of the former champs that could end up getting their belt back sometime in the near future. Alright, so starting off, we got Alexander Volkanovski. Now I know that no matter the outcome between Ilya and Max at 308, the UFC is going to match them up against Volkanovski for either his rematch with Ilya or his 4th fight against Max. And I think he has a pretty good chance of beating Ilya this time around, and it's almost a guarantee that Volk is going to end up beating Max if they fight again for the 4th time. Now the main reasons that Volk would have a chance against Ilya this time around is the fact that he's going to end up using his wrestling a lot more in the fight, and kind of like what I said in the last video I just uploaded, he's going to try to mix up both his ground game and his stand-up, kind of like what he did against Yair, until he either TKOs Ilya by ground and pound or he wins by unanimous decision. Now the reasons for Max are pretty obvious. He beat him 3 times already, so he basically already knows what to do and what not to do when fighting a guy like Max Holloway. With Charles Oliveira being my favorite UFC fighter, I really do hope that he ends up getting the belt back sometime soon. And although Islam already made Olives look easy 2 years ago, I still like to believe that the main reason Charles lost so quickly was the fact that he underestimated Islam's skills. Throughout fight week, he was pretty much dismissing Islam and looking ahead, and in the fight, he decided to lay on the ground after getting dropped like he did with Gaethje and Dustin, instead of getting up so he doesn't get subbed by Islam. But the main way I think Charles can win the belt back is if for whatever reason Islam decides to strike with Charles instead of immediately grappling with him like he did in the first fight. But honestly, this fight is probably going to be the hardest out of all the other fighters I have on this list, but I still got faith in Charlie Olives. Kamaru Usman's title reign was one of those where fans didn't get to appreciate it until it was truly gone. For how active and exciting Usman's fights were, he made himself look unbeatable at a point before fighting Leon, and even in that fight, he was still looking unbeatable up until the head kick. But I think with Leon no longer being champ, now is the best time and opportunity for Usman to return and get the belt back from either Belal or Shavkat. And I think that regardless of who the welterweight champion is next year, Usman is still gonna have a decent chance of beating them. If Belal is still champ, honestly, I see Usman leading majority of the fight by stuffing takedowns and piecing up Belal on the feet, and either Belal gets finished or the decision king ends up losing by decision. And Shavkat's probably going to be the harder opponent for Usman, but I think that if Usman gets Shavkat to the ground throughout most of the fight, then he'll be able to pull out the win. Honestly, Israel Adesanya's title reign is pretty much the same as Usman's, and although his fights coming around to the end of his time as champ got hella boring, you can't take away from the fact that he is one of the best strikers in the UFC and one of the best middleweights of all time. And even though he lost to both Strickland and Duplessis, I still think that he could make a comeback and become champ again. The main reason is that if Izzy stopped fighting so carefully and fought like he did against Whitaker in their first fight and Pereira in their second, I think he has a pretty good chance of beating whoever they put in front of him. Izzy's main problem recently is that he point fights, and against opponents like Strickland and Dracus Duplessis, he can't point fight because they're fucking good at point fighting too, especially Strickland. So if Izzy goes out there and fights like how he used to fight as a contender, he can definitely get that belt back and become champion again. But those are a few former UFC champs that I think can become champion again. But let me know your guys' thoughts and what former champions you guys think can get their belt back. And next week, I'm kind of planning on trying something a little bit different, where I'm going to try to upload 2 videos every week from now on, but I'm going to have one video be UFC related and the other one non-UFC related. So please let me know if you guys want to see that, and please like and subscribe. I'm low-key trying to get to 1K by the end of the year. I don't know if that's like a wild goal or not, but I think we can do it. And thank you for watching.